So Free Bikes for Kids is the nonprofit you started. Talk about the origin of that starting.
First of all, I'm a bikeaholic. I love bikes. When I was a little kid, I had a paper route because I got paid to ride my bike. And my brother and I we'd build ramps and we'd put on bike shows for the neighborhood. And this was bad. We would collect neighborhood kids and make them and have them lie down on the street, and we'd see how many we could jump over.
Did you hurt anyone?
My brother did once, and that was the last show we did.
It's weird that the moms in the neighborhood shut that down.
Yeah, isn't that? Then when I was 16, my buddy and I, the day that school let out in the spring, we got on our bikes and we rode our bikes to the West Coast and back. So, and then I kind of got sidetracked with my music career then, but then in my 40s, I started bike racing. So, and then I started a cycling club, and one Saturday, it's like I got a call from a friend, said, "Hey, we know this kid in our area," and it was like a few weeks before Christmas. Said this family can't afford to give him a Christmas present. Do you think one of your friends would have a bike we could give him? And I go, "Well, let me ask." They all did. So I'm going, well, this is crazy. We all still have our kids' bikes that they had when they were little. They're just sitting in our garages collecting dust. Let's fix them up and give them to some kids for Christmas. So that year we gave away about 250 bikes, and my friend said, "That's fun. Let's do it again next year." And we did about 750, and "That's fun. Let's do it again next year." And we did 1,500. And that's when I said, this doesn't feel like a hobby anymore. This feels more like a job. Why don't we form a nonprofit? I'll go see if I can find a corporate sponsor. I met with the line of health. They said, "We're in." That year we gave away 5,000 bikes. So we continued doing that for a few years. And after about our third or fourth year, I said, I went to our board and I said, we have a very unique model. We collect bikes one day a year, get huge amounts of bikes. And like you said in your intro, we actually set the Guinness World Record for 5,512 bikes collected in one day. And then the next year we collected about 10,000 bikes in one day. So the Guinness World Record is actually half of what we have done. But anyhow, so then I said, what if I, take this thing and what if we start pitching it to other cities? And they go, "If you come on full time, we'll back you on that." So I did that a few years ago now, and we're in 16 cities. We've given away 110,000 bikes. We kind of have a goal. I say kind of because it scares me, but the goal is to be in 100 cities and give away 1 million bikes in the next 5 years. And it's like, okay, that's a lot of bikes, but you know what? We might be able to do it.
Well, those are the best kind of goals, right? The ones that scare you.
The BHAGs, right?
Big, hairy, audacious goals.
That's right.
1 million bikes. So we've donated bikes because you're totally right. Your kids get to a certain age and they outgrow them, and then they sit there, and what do you do with them? And they just take up space in the garage. And then you realize that there's all these children that don't have access to bikes. And if you don't have access to bikes, your world is small. And there's the physical exercise and activity that can happen when you can get on a bike and ride as a child. And so many of us think about our childhood, and there's I can picture my bike. It had a purple banana seat. It was a really exciting time to go get it. It had little streamers. There's a thing about your, the first bike. So when you are around the children who get the bikes, what is that like for you?
It's the best. Have you, I know you've donated. Have you volunteered at all on the giveaway day?
No, we've cleaned. So we've done the cleaning part, but not on the giveaway day.
Oh man, you got to do it because it's just so cool. It's like a lot of times the child will be, have this huge grin on his face, and the parents sometimes will have some tears like, wow, this is so cool. And we want to give these kids a great experience. So by the way, they get a brand new helmet. It gets fitted to them. But we put we divide our bikes into 15 categories of size and kind, male, female, because like little girls want a Barbie bike. And I know this is profiling and stereotyping, but it seems like it works that way. So a lot of times we put a huge curtain up and we'll put 6 bikes of each kind in that category. So the kid gets a personal shopper that goes with them, and he or she gets to shop for a bike. And, so it's kind of a cool experience because this kid comes up and goes, I really want a red bike, and we go, we'll find you a red bike. And then we get them fitted on the bike. Our mechanics will, adjust things and make it so it fits that child. Then we sometimes will have a little route where they can train or ride. We're working now with USA Cycling to teach kids how to ride a bike if they don't know how to ride. There's so much stuff, but it's just, it's fantastic. It's just exciting to see, because I know what it meant to me, that first bike. It's like your first ticket to go explore the world. It's like freedom, and we look at it as, we actually are referring to the bike. You talk about RX, prescription, we're talking about BX. We want to get doctors to start prescribing the bicycle as a medical device, saying we think we can change the health of kids in our country by putting them on a bike. And we think that's true.
I think to a lot of folks, Terry, they might be surprised that there's this much need, because bikes aren't they're not thousands. I mean, they can be thousands and thousands of dollars, but you can get a bike at a discount store. And I think that there's a mindset of, well, I see kids in every neighborhood with iPhones, so like, why can't they just go get a bike? And I'm interested in your perspective on why there's so much need.
That's a suburban mindset of people who, like us, who we don't think about those things, but there are a lot of people that are not like that. The need is huge. And to be honest with you, Kristi, I was pretty naive about this before I started this thing. The whole concept of poverty, I don't think I got it. But it's interesting. I've been thinking about this a lot in the last few years, about the complexity of poverty. And we, I think we think of poverty as people who are without material goods and their needs, but there's different kinds of poverty. I see some of these people come through and the joy on their face, and it's like, yeah, they don't have much, but they've got something really important. They're not, I don't think they see themselves as stuck in poverty. And then on the other side, sometimes I see people, we all have friends who are really wealthy, and you look in their eyes and I see poverty, so poverty isn't always as simply defined as we think it is. But I think those of us who have, the haves and the have-nots when it comes to material goods, yes, we have an obligation, but more than that, I think we have an opportunity. It's not like we have to do this. It's that we get to do this. There's a big difference in how, in your motivation for something like that. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm one of the luckiest people on the earth, because I get to do something like this that I know is making a lot of kids happy. And that makes me happy.